4 games in a little over a week now. Just a huge period, isn't it, the making of the season?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not the make all of end all and be all, but it's important. You can look at it and fudge it as much as you want. 4 games is a big ask, and if you can have a big Christmas, then it obviously can help you enormously. We've got some tough games coming up, all teams who are playing well, but what I've seen, that's the championship. That's where it is. So let's hope that we can get a few results, which will obviously help us enormously coming over the next few days.
Fans obviously love the Christmas period, but how difficult is it to navigate that amount of games, particularly when you look at Borough away, Brentford away?
This is what I'm saying. I've just said to the radios there, why we can't be playing a Derby or a Burton or a Nottingham Forest over a Christmas period is bizarre to me. We're asking people to travel in the depths of winter and holiday season up to Middlesbrough, and no doubt we'll take thousands, like we always do. But come on, let's make the life a little bit more comfortable. And I can't really genuinely understand that for football teams who are asking to play 4 games, and why we can't just stay local. I think all of us, to travel to Middlesbrough and then come back, and it's nonsense to me, but there we are.
Obviously having players fit's important. Can we get an update on Davis, who was ill at the weekend, Terry, Lansbury and Andre Green?
Andre Green is trained all week. It's too early for him yet though, but signs are excellent with him. John Terry was kicking a ball and running around the training ground like a 5-year-old on Tuesday. It's fair to say was a little bit sore on Wednesday, which is normal. So he's on track. We expect him to be in the next couple of weeks. Josh Onoma's a problem. He's got a cut. He's got a cut on the top of his foot, which was restitched again yesterday. We've got to box a bit clever with that one. Keenan Davis has trained all week after his illness last weekend, so we expect him to be thereabouts. Was there one more you asked? Lansbury. Well, I'm disappointed with that one because, he's nicked a hamstring just after coming on against Leeds, and unfortunately he's nicked a hamstring, which is set him back a bit, but we hope it's not going to be too long, and hopefully he can be available over the Christmas period too.
I think it's fair to say you've had a lot of injury issues so far this season. January's just upon us. Is it fair to say you're actively looking?
Well, we're trying. We're trying as hard as we possibly can. We know we've got to be a bit restricted. We understand that. Yeah, you're right. We've got on with it and managed to deal with it. We don't need any more. That's where you need a bit of luck. A John Terry to break a foot, a Codger to refracture a fracture is something which, Big Mile, Jednak, Grealish, all of these injuries are impact injuries which there's nothing you can do about it. So we, as I've said many times, we hope it doesn't derail us. We need a bit of luck going forward in terms of injuries, like we all do. The rest of the league is delighted we've got the problems that we have. Make no mistake about that. But we've been dealt a cruel blow to be without 3 big players. Jednak, Codger, Terry are your big players, your spine of your team. And we've practically been without them now for weeks and months.
Callum O'Hare scored in the 4-1 win for the under-23s. Yeah. Has he just got to keep knocking the door?
Callum is a breath of fresh air for us all, and being in and around it. The one area of the pitch where Onoma, Grealish, Lansbury, they all like this number 10 role. The one thing about Josh as well, he can play it in a wide area too, and he's been knocking on the door. But the form of the team has been decent. So I'm the type that if you're going along nicely and you're doing okay, then leave it alone. So he's had to be patient. His time will come. The one thing, as I've said repeatedly, look, the absence of Codger has probably been the introduction of Keenan Davis. So, and we all didn't think he'd have the impact he's had. Andre Green was another one, started the season. The one thing I have been very, 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 very fortunate here is we've got some very decent young players who are all knocking on the door. And that's the thing that keeps the squad, I think, on their toes. The energy of the young players is there for it to see. I was there the other night when we turned over West Brom. They're a breath of fresh air to watch. I really enjoy what Kevin and the lads are doing down there, Mark in particular, what they're doing down there. We've got some very good young players.
Sheffield United this weekend, I think it's going to be a bumper crowd. The Trinity Road Upper is going to be opened for the game. What do you make of them? And
well, do you know the beauty of the Championship? If I asked you at the start of the season who was going to be there, you'd be a brave man to say Sheffield United, Bristol City and Cardiff. Very, very brave. That's the beauty, for me, of the Championship. That's what an even keel it is. The Premier League, we can all predict the top 6 by Christmas, and the only thing is in what formation. But you all know who's going to be there. You can't in the Championship, and that's how difficult it is. So I'm a big admirer of Chris Wilder, what he's done quietly. He's gone about his job very, very well. He's a big Sheffield United fan. What he's done there and what they did in last year in particular was, and if you look at his record over the last few years, is obviously a big, big talent. So they'll enjoy coming. They're not in the best of form lately, but they'll enjoy coming to Villa Park, a full house. It's always a great occasion, a big full house at our place live on the telly, so all to play for.
Players visited Birmingham Children's Hospital and Acorns Children's Hospice over last few days. How important is that in the role of a footballer?
Well, you know, sometimes footballers are much maligned, you know, and I think they're all humbled by when you walk into a hospital, like we all are. You know, 2 of them in particular this week, which maybe wasn't on film. Gabby and Tails took 6 kids to Toys R Us they all had the trolley each, and piled their trolleys as high as they possibly can, which was another thing. Which, you know, sometimes they get a bad name. They're not all bad, and sometimes a humbling experience like going to a hospital brings us all back to reality and what it's all about. So for them and all what they've done in the last week in particular, then good stuff. Good to see.
On general football matters, how impressed have you been with Man City this season and Guardiola?
Well, I had to say, I said to my coaching staff that you have to go and watch them live. Don't watch them on the TV, go and watch them live, and then you'll realise just how good they are and how different they are. But with the ball, we all know. And of course, being a defender, without the ball ticks my boxes too, and they're absolutely unbelievable without the ball too. And you don't really necessarily see that on a TV screen. So they are the benchmark. You have to say the coach is bordering on something we haven't seen before. And certainly the way they play the game is quite breathtaking. So that's what we'll all aspire to. But very, very good. And you have to say that at the moment, to do what they're doing is quite breathtaking. In a league like ours, you can sometimes happens in Spain or Italy or France. Doesn't usually happen in a league like ours where there's sheer dominance. And at the moment, they're a dominating force.
We've had some unbelievable teams over the years. Fergie's Man United team, the Arsenal Invincibles. Where do these rank, or is it too early to...
Well, I think it's still too early to say because they haven't won anything yet. And I think you only get judged by being a great team is when you win something. So I don't think it'll be long. But they're fighting on 4 fronts still. But where they've come from and what they've done and what they've achieved in a very short period of time, I mean, to come from where they, as I said, is quite remarkable achievement by them all. And even their youngsters, the youngsters they've got, their 18s, their 20-year-olds, what they've got in place is quite remarkable.
Very finally for me, I believe the comedian and impressionist Darren Farley's been here.
I believe so. I believe so. He was involved with the training a week ago. I'm not so sure about the haircut. Never mind the voice. If that's a wig he's wearing, he's got to get it cut, for Christ's sake. He looks like Vince the photographer. You know, but no, it was a bit of fun. Sometimes it's good to have a bit of fun. You'll have to ask the lads how good he was. But I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's going to be upon us. But a bit of a giggle, why not?
Cheers, Steve. Thank you.